Hey everyone, welcome to the deep dive. You know AI is like everywhere now, right? It's kind of crazy.
Absolutely. It really is. And it can feel like a total black box sometimes. Like,
Totally. You
yeah,
see it doing all this cool stuff, but have no idea how it actually works.
right. Exactly. So today, to help us crack open that AI black box, we're teaming up with Fact Fragment.
Fact Fragment.
Yeah, they're awesome. They take all this super complex academic research and
Make it make sense.
yeah, exactly. They basically turn it into like easy to understand insights.
Love that. Makes it way less intimidating for sure.
Right. And they've got all this fascinating research on the latest AI models, particularly how they're impacting young adults.
Which is like perfect for our listeners.
Exactly. We're talking 25 to 38-year-olds right in that sweet spot.
Yeah.
And we're focusing on three specific AI models that are making huge e-waves.
Ooh, lay it on me. Which ones are we diving into?
Okay, so first up, we've got OpenAI's O3.
Heard of that one? Isn't that supposed to be like the most powerful AI out there?
It is. It's like the superstar. Fact Fragment describes it as this super brainy AI that can handle insanely complex tasks.
And like write stuff that sounds like an actual human wrote it.
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously impressive stuff. But there's always a but, right?
Oh, there's got to be a catch. What is it?
It's expensive, like really expensive to develop and use.
So not something you and I are going to be messing around with anytime soon.
Probably not. It's mostly being used by big corporations and research institutions, those who can foot the bill.
Makes sense. Okay, so what about the next one? What else is on our AI menu today?
Next up, we've got DeepSeek's R1.
DeepSeek R1. Okay, tell me more.
This one's all about efficiency and affordability. They use something called reinforcement learning to develop it.
Reinforcement learning. Sounds kind of intense.
It's actually pretty cool. Imagine, like, training a dog, right? You give it treats when it does something good.
Gotcha. So they're like giving the AI virtual treats.
Sort of. It's more complex, obviously, but the principle's similar. The AI learns through trial and error, constantly getting feedback and improving. And the developers of R1, they were all about making its reasoning abilities top-notch, but, without breaking the bank.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Especially for us regular folks who don't have like $1 billion lying around.
Exactly. Oh, and get this, they actually open-sourced several versions of R1.
Wait, open sourced? Like anyone can access the code and play around with it?
Yep. It's like sharing the secret recipe for the best cake ever.
I love that analogy. So researchers, startups, even just like tech enthusiasts can get their hands on it.
Exactly. It's all about making AI more accessible, democratizing it.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. So we've got the Powerhouse O3 and the budget-friendly R1. What's the third one? What's the final contender in our AI showdown?
All right, last but not least, we've got Meta's Llama 3.
Llama 3, okay.
Uh-huh.
What's special about this one?
This one is all about versatility and accessibility. Like R1, it's open source, but Meta went a step further. They really focused on data curation, making sure the information Llama 3 learns from is accurate and unbiased.
Ah, so it's not just gobbling up any random data it finds on the internet.
Nope, they're being very selective. It's like a chef carefully choosing the best ingredients, right? You want your cake to taste good, A&D be safe to eat.
Makes sense. So they're being responsible with the data they're feeding Llama 3.
Exactly. And they also made it super user-friendly, like it integrates seamlessly with other tools, search engines, programming languages, all that good stuff.
So it's like a team player working with existing technology instead of trying to replace it.
Exactly. And that's something that really stood out to me from Fact Fragment's research, like how these AI models are being designed to interact with the tools we already use every day.
Mind blown. I mean, we've only just scratched the surface here, but I'm already seeing how AI could impact like every aspect of our lives.
Right. And that's what we're going to dig into next. Like, what does all this actually mean for young adults? Like, how could these models specifically impact your life?
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. Can't wait to dive deeper.
Let's do it. Back again, ready for more AI deep diving.
Always. And I'm still kind of amazed by the work Fact Fragment is doing.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible, right? Digging through all that research.
And making it actually understandable. It's like a superpower.
Totally.
Yeah.
Going through their research, one thing really hit me, like each of these AI models, the O3, the R1, the Llama 3,
Yeah.
they each seem to have a totally different philosophy behind them, like different ways of thinking about AI development.
Ooh, that's interesting. It's like they each have their own, like, personality or something.
Exactly. With OpenAI's O3, it's all about power, like pushing the limits of what AI can do.
Right. Like creating the ultimate AI brain.
Yeah, but remember, we talked about this before, that power comes with a price, literally.
The cost. Yeah, it's expensive.
Super expensive, so it's not really accessible to everyone.
It's like this amazing tool, but it's locked away in some secret lab.
Right. And that's where DeepSeek's R1 takes a totally different approach. Remember, efficiency, affordability, that's their thing.
And open source. Don't forget open source.
Right, exactly. So they're all about making AI accessible to everybody, researchers, startups, even just people who are curious about AI.
Like democratizing it. I love that.
Totally. It's like instead of hoarding the secret recipe, they're sharing it with the whole world.
So everyone can bake an awesome cake.
Exactly. And then there's Llama 3, Meta's creation.
Right. Llama 3. They're all about being careful with the data.
Exactly. Data curation, that's their focus. Making sure Llama 3 learns from good, reliable information. It's like, a chef who only uses the freshest ingredients.
Because nobody wants a cake made with rotten eggs.
Exactly. It's all about making sure the AI is learning the right things from the right sources.
Which makes total sense. But it makes you wonder, what happens if they don't do that? What happens if an AI is trained on, like, bad data?
That's a huge question, and something researchers are looking into very carefully. Because if an AI learns from biased data...
It's going to be biased.
Exactly. And that could lead to all sorts of problems, unfair outcomes, even potentially harmful stuff.
So it's not just about making AI smart. It's about making sure it's ethical.
You got it. Fact Fragment actually highlighted a bunch of studies that are looking into this whole issue of AI ethics. It's becoming a really big deal.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because as AI gets more powerful, we need to make sure it's being used for good.
Absolutely. So we've talked about these different AI models, their philosophies, but how does this actually impact people, like our listeners, young adults?
Right. How is this going to change our lives?
That's the big question, isn't it? And I think that's where we need to go next.
Let's do it. Let's explore how AI could shape our future. And we are back, still diving deep into the world of AI.
With the amazing Fact Fragment as our guide.
Absolutely. It's mind-blowing to think that this stuff, it wasn't that long ago. It was all science fiction.
I know, and now it's like part of our lives.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's changing so fast.
Yeah, the pace of innovation is just, whoa.
It's hard to keep up.
Seriously, every day there's like a new breakthrough.
It's like drinking from a fire hose.
Right. So how do we even wrap our heads around the future of AI?
It's a good question. I mean, what does the future hold? Especially for, young adults like our listeners.
Well, it's tough to predict the future, but we can look for patterns, right? Trends in the research.
Okay, so what are we seeing? What trends are emerging?
One big one is multimodal AI.
A multimodal.
Yeah, basically means AI that can understand the world through multiple senses, just like we do.
So not just text, but images, sounds.
Exactly. Imagine an AI music tutor,
Yeah.
It not only helps you write music, but also watches you play, analyzes your facial expressions, your body language.
Whoa, that's next level.
Right. It's about making AI more intuitive, more personalized.
I like it. What else? Any other cool trends?
Another big one is the shift from AI that does one specific thing to AI that can do everything.
General purpose AI.
Exactly. So instead of having separate AI for writing, scheduling, language learning, you have one AI that can handle it all.
That's what I need, a super smart assistant who can organize my whole life.
Right. And Fact Fragment pointed out how this could change, well, everything. How we work, how we learn, how we connect with each other.
Okay, so that's the exciting stuff, but what about the potential downsides?
Yeah, we can't ignore those. As AI gets more powerful, we really need to think about the ethical implications.
Like making sure it's used responsibly.
Yeah, exactly. Fairness, transparency, accountability, all that. It's not just about making AI smart, it's about making sure it's ethical.
Which is why I'm so glad we partnered with Fact Fragment for this episode. They're doing such important work, shedding light on these critical issues.
I know, right? They cut through all the hype and help us understand what really matters.
Seriously, if you're even a little bit curious about AI, you need to check out Fact Fragment.
Couldn't agree more. They've got a ton of amazing insights waiting to be discovered.
All right, folks, that's our deep dive into the fascinating world of AI with the awesome help of Fact Fragment. We explored the power of OpenAI's O3, the accessibility of DeepSeek's R1, the versatility of Meta's Llama 3. We talked about the different philosophies behind them and how they could shape the future for young adults.
And hopefully we've all learned a thing or two along the way.
I know I have. If you're as fascinated by AI as we are, do yourself a favor and subscribe to Fact Fragment. You won't regret it.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.